Hi guys, it's Ellie, and today we're going to be going over we're going to be going over how you can estimate like the percentage of a number. Um, I chose this topic today because I think it's kind of important and it's a good thing to know how to do. So hopefully this is helpful. So I have some examples and we'll get started. So the way that I would go about doing, we can look at the first one that I have. So 34% of 14. So what you want to do is the percent, you want to find a fraction form of that. So 34%, that can't just be written as like a simple fraction, but I know that 33% is going to be the same thing as 1/3. So I'm just going to estimate. So that's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to estimate. So instead, I'm going to do 1/3, and then that's going to be times. Since we want an estimate, we want it to be, doesn't have to be exactly right, and we want it to have easy math. So I know that if I was to do 13, or sorry, 1/3 times 14, that's not going to give me a whole number, because 14 divided by 3 isn't a whole number. So what I'm going to do is change this number to something that 3 goes into so that I will get a whole number. So I'm going to say, okay, what's 14 close to that 3 goes into? Well, 15. So we're going to have 1/3 times 15. Now that's a lot easier. So what's 15 divided by 3? That's good. Oh, I don't know what I just did. That's going to equal 5. Sorry, I don't know why the screen is like oddly dark now. No clue. Well, whatever. So yeah, so that's going to be 5. And that's a pretty good estimate. I'll calculate, I can't do it in my head, but I'll calculate right now what 34% of 14 is. So 0.34 times 14. So yeah, that's going to be 4.76. So it's really close. So this is a really good way to just estimate. All right, so the next one's going to be 75% of 75. And we know that, I'm going to change colors. Maybe that's, I don't know, that's so weird that it's like now dimmer. No clue why that is. So weird. Okay, whatever. I guess I'll stay in the black. So we have 75% of 75. So 75 actually can be written as a fraction. So that's going to be 3/4. And then times, well, 75 actually also happens to go into 4. So I can just do 3/4 times 75. And so that's going to equal, well, we'll do 3 times 75. So that's going to be 225, and then divide by 4, 50. Oh, sorry, that's incorrect. I'm sorry, that was so stupid. I should have, sorry. Okay, so 4 actually does not go into 75, which I knew, but messed up. But okay, so since 4 does not go into 75, we know that 4 actually does go into 76, which that's 4 times 19 is going to give you 76. So yeah, so we can do this. So you can either do 76 times 3 and then divide that by 4, or you can do this, which I think might be even easier. So I know that 4 goes into 76, so I'm going to cross this out. This is going to be 1. Sorry, so I'm just dividing by 4 here. So 4 divided by 4, that's going to make this denominator 1. Then here, I'm also dividing by 4. So we know I just said 19. So then we have 3 times 19. And that's going to give us 57. All right, next one. So we have 35% of 53. So 35%, again, trying to express this as a fraction, and that's going to make it, what's close to 35%? 33%. So let's go for 1/3. And then times, well, what's close to 53 that 3 goes into? And that's going to be, it's going to be 51. So we're going to end up with, so we can either So we're just going to divide by 3 here because it's a 1 in the numerator. So that's just going to give us 17 because 51 divided by 3 is 17. So I hope that you're starting to get the hang of this. And sometimes too, like here, like it's not always the easiest math to do in your head, but it's at least, it's going to give you a whole number. It's an estimate, but it's pretty close usually. And it just, I think, makes it a lot simpler. And it's a good way, like a good life skill for like calculating the tip or something. If you go out for dinner and you're like, like what's 20% of whatever? So yeah, so I think it's a good skill to know. So next we have 76% of 50. So let's think 76, what can we express that as a fraction? That's going to be 3/4, and then times what's 50, what is 4 going to that's close to 50? Well, I would think 48. So we know that if we divide by 4, so that's going to give us a 1 in the denominator, divide by 4 here, that's going to give us 12. So we get 3 times 12, 36. Not too bad. Could do that in my head. So hopefully you're starting to get the hang of this. And then we'll do one last example. So we have 74% of 58. So again, like this last one, we're going to do 3/4. And then that's going to be times, well, what's close to 58 that 4 goes into? I would go with 56. So again, here we go. Divide by 4, that's going to give us 1. And then divide by 4 here again, that's going to give us 14. And so 3 times 14 is going to be 42. And so just like one quick trick here for division, you guys might already know this, but something that I like to do is like 56 divided by 4. I don't really know that I don't really know that division fact off the top of my head. So I just think of like, 56. Well, I know that 8 goes into 56. So like I know that 7 times 8 is 56. So since 8 goes into it, I know that 4 is going to have to go into it. So I'm going to I'll rewrite this so it's a little clearer. So 7 times 2 times 4, because you see 2 times 4 is 8. So when I'm trying to find like what equals 56. So if I'm trying to look at like, 4 times what equals 56? Well, I know that actually it's just going to be 7 times 2 times 4 equals 56. So this is going to equal 14. So that's how I get 14 times 4 equals 56. That's just a trick that I use that I think is kind of helpful. So hopefully that's helpful for you guys too. And that's going to be all for this video. I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Thanks. Bye.